Hi guys, and welcome to another Divi video. This is Jamie from System22 and webdesignandtechtips.com. Well, we've got another button effect for you today. We've got a nice little spin and grow with shadow effect here. If we hover over this button, it spins around, grows a bit, and it's got a bit of a box shadow behind it. And that's a nice little button effect. Really easy to do. We're going to use the onboard effects of the Divi module to do this today. We're not going to write any code. So let's get started. First thing I'm going to do is enable the Visual Builder. Once enabled, let's go down where we want to work and add a new module. And funnily enough, I'm going to add a button module. There it is. Now the reason mine's purple with blue on hover, that's the way I've got it set up in the customizer, but you can customize your buttons in the design tab any way you wish. But for mine, I'm going to pretty much leave them with those hover colors going on there. Okay, content wise, we'll put in what you want your button to say here. And the link for your button down below, just put it in there. If you're linking to your same website, leave it in the same window. If you're linking to an external website, I suggest you put it in a new tab so that your site stays open. Okay, let's move on to the design tab. First thing is alignment. At the moment it's aligned left, as you can see. You can put it on the right, but I want mine in the middle. That's great. Text wise, I'm not going to change that. I'm pretty happy with the way the text is. Down below is the button, and here you can customize the styles for the button. I'll quickly customize a couple of styles. Text size is fine. Text color is absolutely fine. Let's make our button background red. And as it's red, we need to make the border red as well, or take it away. Here's the button border just below. I'm going to go ahead and make that red. Now for the hover state, I'll probably leave mine on blue, but if you hover over the dark legending, and this is common to most Divi modules, you'll find some icons there. If you hit the arrow, it'll give you a desktop state or non-hover state, and a hover state when your mouse is actually over the top of it. For the hover, I'm going to make it blue. As you can see, the borders turn blue there, and we'll do exactly the same for the background. Go up, little arrow, hover state. There we go. So it's blue on hover, and it's red when we've not got our mouse on it. Great. So that's the first thing taken care of. So let's go on down. We're going to go all the way down now to transform. Now what do we want it to do? I want it to grow a little bit, and I want it to spin, but I also want to lose that little icon. When you hover over it, that little icon's there. It's up to you if you want to keep it. And still in our customize button tab here, you'll see all the icons you can choose from, and there's plenty of them with the elegant themes icons. Simply turn this to off and it'll go off. But if you want it on, you've also got the option to have it on all the time by flipping this little button right there, and it'll be there on both states. But I don't want an icon today. Great. Okay, so let's continue. Go down to transform. And the first one right here is scale or grow. And again, I only want it to grow when we hover on it. So I'm going to hit the little arrow. You can move this up and down to make it scale, or you can move the arrows up and down. If you've got the chain linked, it'll do both at the same time. And you can fine tune with the little arrows here. So I'm going to have it grow about 10% when we hover over it. Make sure I'm on the hover state, so we've got 110 there, and on the regular state we just want 100. Now if you change these and don't like what you've got, if you select them and delete them, they'll go back to the default state for you. So on the hover, we want to make sure we've got 110. So I'll just type it in there. There we go. We go back and it's normal again. Great. Well, that's the grow bit taken care of. But I also want it to twist around, and to do that we need to move across a couple to transform rotate. And I'm going to use this one today, the middle one. Okay, so again on the hover state, I'm going to bring this up to about here, and it'll twist all the way around when we hover on it, which is just what I want. And in our last video we showed you how to add a bit of box shadow with CSS. One of our viewers kindly pointed out you can do it without CSS if you use a transparent box shadow. So let's give it a box shadow. We'll give it that one right there. Now there's no hover option on this, unfortunately. I really only want it when it's on the hover. So if we go down to box shadow color, we find we have actually got one. So on the desktop state, I'm going to have the color right here is transparent, so you can't see it. Then on the hover state, I'm going to have it as the normal color or a dark color. Black's maybe a little bit too much. Let's grab that color. Let's take it down to something acceptable, something like that. Fantastic. So we've now actually created a hover state for this, and thank you for the chap that sent that tip in. I appreciate that. It just saves you writing a little bit of simple CSS code. And the transition time it takes to move from one to the other, the red to the blue, by default is 300 milliseconds. If we go to our advanced tab and down to transitions, there it is. I'll slow mine down a bit to 500 or half a second for drama. Don't want any delay. I want it to happen as soon as I put my mouse over it. And the speed curve I like to use for this is ease in and ease out. When you pull your mouse off of it, it'll ease back out and it'll ease in. They all do slightly different things. Check them out. In certain situations, some will work better than the others, but that is definitely my favorite for these sort of hover effects. So if we've done everything correctly, we should now have a little spinning button with shadow on hover. So let's save our changes. Save the page changes and exit the Visual Builder. Now we can go down and let's see what this button's going to do. There we go. It's hovering, got a bit of box shadow, and it's growing a little bit. So I hope you've enjoyed that today and found it useful. That's how easy it is to make a spinning button effect. And you'll notice that it's got that box shadow when we're on it. So if you've enjoyed this today, please give it a thumbs up, ring the bell, comment, share and subscribe to our YouTube channel. Once again, this has been Jamie from System22 and webdesignandtechtips.com. Thanks for watching. Have a great day.